Welcome back to another edition of Toxic is the New Masculinity. And to my left, I got my man KY. And to my right, I got my man Bossy. Welcome to another edition. We glad you guys are here hanging out with us. Listen, toxic is the new masculinity. It's just a conversation amongst men and our guests when we have them about masculinity and let you guys know that it's not toxic. You might disagree with what we say, but it's just a play on words. We're not up here trying to be toxic. We just up here expressing our opinions on the way that we see the world. And so a lot of times as we are having these conversations, before we get started, make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube page. Toxic is the new masculinity. But a lot of times we're having these conversations, and when we're dealing with marriage and we're dealing with relationships and things like that in the order of them, then there tends to be sometimes a disagreement. I would sit back and play moderator today, y'all, because we should have a bell ringing, ding ding ding, because we got one side that agree and one side that don't. So I'm gonna play this clip, and I'll just play it through the microphone real quick because I want you guys to hear what the disagreement and what the conversation is going to be about today. So basically, this is just us talking about what are the roles of a husband when it comes to the wife inside of the family and the house.
My wife is not in charge in my house. I am. And she is my helper, and I'm not her helper. She doesn't wear the pants, I do. Now, because I adore my wife, I want to model the sacrificial leadership of Jesus. Jesus, recognizing that all authority in heaven and earth had been given to me, stood up, took out his outer robe, tied it around his waist, knelt down and washed his disciples' feet. That's what the biblical account is. Recognizing he had all authority, he got down and washed feet. I am in authority over my wife. It's not a 50-50. The buck stops with me. I am the head. Because of that, I'm going to use my leadership to take wonderful care of my wife. Boys, my sons, this is our woman. We're going to take care of her. She doesn't open doors. We open it for her. My job as a man is to make sure my life is harder than hers.
That's good.
I want my life harder than hers.
Yes.
I make money. I'm going to spend more on her than me. I'm going to lift her up. I'm going to serve her. I'm built stronger so that I can use my strength for my bride. I'm going to exalt her. I'm going to do something better than 50-50 or equal. I'm going to lift her up. I'm going to treat her not as an equal. I'm going to treat her as more important. And I'm going to steer our marriage as well. I'm going to set the culture for our home. And I need her to give me her valuable insight. And sometimes we're going to disagree, and I'm going to go with what she thinks. And sometimes I'm going to go with what I think. But I'm going to use her as my helper, as my second self, on mission for the Lord, because I desperately, desperately need the counsel of my wife, and I honor her. My wife is.
All right. So he says that he is the head. He does not share that responsibility. He does not go 50-50 with his wife because the buck stops with him. He also said he's going to lift up and exalt his wife, and he's going to lift her up, and he's going to make his life harder. He make his life harder than hers. And these are just some of the things he was saying. So you guys heard that. We might even play it back so you guys can understand as we continue to go this conversation. Off the rip, when this conversation came up and we played it, Bossy said he agreed. But Keith had a contradictory point to that. And Keith, so we got to start with you, man. Why do you disagree? Because he agrees with what he said. He ain't got to repeat that.
Okay.
He just got to go against what you said.
Particularly, I want you to, when you explain, I want you to you had mentioned something about a lot of men fall into this trap. So,
right. And when I say that is, when I heard this guy talking, it sounds real good to the public's ear, because I heard a lot of I in it. It was all about him. It was I.
Mm-hmm.
He mentioned, and he smoothed it over when he took it biblically. He wanted to say Jesus. I heard Jesus one time. Okay. I heard more about him than Jesus.
So now on his eyes, he was saying, this is what I'm going to do in honor, basically in honor of the way Jesus got set forth the marriage. So I think he was saying his responsibility, as he's been ordered to do from God, is what he's going to do. I don't think he was saying like I as in
if you go to
lift
1
himself up.
Corinthians chapter 7, y'all have a chance, go read it, and it'll tell you about marriage. And he's off point.
No,
and that's just my opinion.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's fine. But basically, what he's basically talking about is when he's saying I. He's literally talking about the mandated authority that was given to him in Genesis chapter 3.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's what he's talking about. He's saying, okay, like for example, you were in the military, right?
Mhm.
You have an authoritative figure,
Right.
right? Now, obviously, it's a little bit more dominant than that because you don't have a say so. But the fact of the matter is, you're an authoritative figure, right? When they issue you, when you're authoritative figure, you're a sergeant or wherever you land.
Mhm.
When he issues you a mandate, right?
Mhm.
He says, "I'm telling you to do this."
Mhm.
And if you repeat the action that he's telling you to do, you're going to say, "Well, I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to do that." He's just saying what the word told him to do as as being an authoritative figure in the household.
Mhm.
He's saying, "These are my responsibilities. So I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to do this."
So you're saying it's my responsibility to disregard me, and I'm not saying just me,
Mhm.
and give everything to her, because I heard him tell the kids they were also responsible for her.
He said, sons, this is our woman.
Right.
For
That's what he
me,
said.
Right.
I was like, that is not their woman.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
I did have a point with that when he said this is our woman, because his kids' responsibility, that's their mother.
Mhm.
And when he says this is our woman, well, okay, are you guys sharing her in what capacity? Because those are different roles.
I know. Okay, so we put context in that. Just so when I heard him say that, obviously a son doesn't have authority over his mother, right? But when he said, "Son, this is our woman," he was saying that he this was just before he was talking about opening the doors and treating her lady like, right? Because you are supposed to raise your sons that way, right? The mom is generally the model of how he should treat women. Women even say that. I could tell how a guy should be depending on his relationship to his mother. Okay, that's the way I receive that. Because obviously there's no place in biblical, there's nowhere in biblical you're supposed to honor your mothers like that. And the way I took that is because as soon as he said that, he went into open the doors and how you treat a woman. All right. She, their sons, at least in my opinion, never obviously doesn't get the same benefits that he has when he says that's our woman. I took it as the way you're supposed to treat a woman.
Okay. So now, and I'll ask you this, Bossy, because in the audio clip we just heard, when he was saying that he is going to make his life harder than his wife, he's going to exalt her and lift her up. How do you interpret that as far as in a marriage context when you have a husband saying, I'm going to take on this responsibility and make my life harder than yours?
There are several examples of that, but let's just start at that. In there to me is a protection clause. All right. If I'm going to protect you, that means I'm the shield, I'm the armor, I'm the barrier. So everything outside that potentially can attack you, whether it's physical, mental, or anything else, that's my job to keep you away from that. I mean, we talk sports all the time, right? The authoritative figure is the quarterback in football, right? You agree, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you say that when he's as that role is perceived to be the toughest position on the team, correct?
The hardest to play.
Hardest,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
My personal thing, I think corner is the hardest, but I'll digress. All right. But the fact of the matter is, in his position is to lead, to guard, and protect, meaning the quarterback, right? So in that essence, if he's responsible for everything, that's why he gets the wins and the losses. It's a team sport, but he gets the wins and the losses. He wins generally mostly every MVP trophy there is. All right. Simply because everything that goes wrong or goes right or wrong sits on his shoulders. All right. The center can miss a snap or well, better yet, you could say blocking assignments and stuff like that. The offensive line could totally screw it up. Quarterback gets sacked, right? We generally don't say, generally the novice person doesn't say, well, the quarterback got sacked because the line missed the block. What they say? Well, he held the ball too long.
Yeah.
Well, probably because he held the ball too long because the receiver didn't cut his route.
And by half our audience is like, what the hell is Boss talking? They don't know about cutting routes, so they don't know about none of that shit. Okay, so you done got too technical on football. General terms, and we're gonna talk about sports.
That's what I knew.
No, but general terms because
Right.
a lot of women say, what the hell?
Yeah.
but KY, you was looking at that saying, look, you thought he was more focused on him
Right.
because of the word I.
Yeah, but you got to be focused on you. I'm saying because I'm talking about me.
But okay, let me ask you this question because I always ask this. And so, and y'all, this is a conversation about about a man talking about his role as a wife, and we're gonna, and because he was talking about it from a biblical standpoint, we're gonna add in some elements about that, not to have a Bible study, nothing like that. But my thing is, because if we were having a Bible study, I need some bread with this wine for communion. With that being said, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you this question.
Okay.
It's just real quick.
Okay.
And then you can go into your point.
Okay.
You ever heard the scripture that says, "I can do all things through Christ," right? Who strengthens me.
Right.
What's the most important word in that statement?
Christ.
Nope, it's not.
What is it?
It's I.
Okay.
You know why it's I?
Because
I'm gonna tell you why it's I.
Okay, I'll give you another scripture.
I'll tell you why it's I. It's I because the movement that is saying that you can do, Christ is already a pillar. You can do it. Because guess what? You ain't waiting on God to do anything. It's all about what you're going to do. He's already done it. In this situation, this man is talking about what I'm going to do. He has responsibilities now.
Okay.
With his responsibilities, he's saying I. Because let's say he say, well, Christ is going to open the doors. She going to be waiting all day long. Because I don't think Christ's going to come in and have no door blown open.
Thanks.
He has to open the doors. Why do you think that he was focused more on him?
You went a different direction with that, but go ahead.
But why do you think he was focused on him when he was saying what his responsibilities were?
Well, okay, let's go back to the first thing when you said you're more important than that.
No. I just said in the.
And when he said when you said
the word,
you asked me what was the
most important word?
It had to be Christ, because you know what? You're only here because of him.
Okay.
You only get to participate because.
Let me ask you. That's what. In the context of what you said, I just want to give you credit. In the context of what you said, what's the most important? Did you literally mean, like, the way I received what you said was in that sentence, the most important mean what's the more focal point in that sentence, the I or the Christ?
Yeah.
Is that what you meant?
Basically.
I think Keith receiving that as level is
No. Because the thing is, think about it. And we're keeping it in perspective with him talking about the wife.
Okay.
I was using that to say when it says, I can do all things, but I just got to do them through Christ.
Right.
At this point, if I am moving because of my responsibilities, then it's all on me. It's not, at this point, it's not on God, it's all on you. In his relationship, how he treats his wife is on him. So I'm asking the question, why did you hear that in a form of now he's being selfish?
Yeah, because he said, I get to make the last decision. I get to I'll listen to her, but I.
Oh, okay. So now, this is where I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
And so now,
and let me say this before everybody just rip on that. It never did say. He said, she's my helpmate, but it was always went back to I. He'll give you something, then I. So what I'm saying is authority. Okay, but what I'm saying is, he never said anything about, and I know y'all always say you're going to turn to a Bible study, but he brought in Jesus, so I'm going to bring in Jesus. So if I don't have time to go through it, but First Corinthians, we got a whole hour. First Corinthians, if you know scripture, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, what does it say?
I don't know. You tell,
because it talks about how and I'm just paraphrasing. It talks about how things are going to get twisted, and it talks about what singles should do, what marriage people should do. It even talks about. It tells you don't live. He's idolizing his wife.
Okay, so wait. Okay, so hold on. Wait. Let's stay right there.
Okay.
So at that point, you feel that now he's idolizing his wife.
Absolutely, I do.
So, question: do you think men should put their wife on a pedestal?
No.
Okay. What about you, boss?
What do you want me to answer first?
No, do you think because do you think that he was idolizing his wife?
I don't. Not at all.
Why don't you think that?
Well, I don't know how you idolize something like to your point. If you feel he's elevating himself, then how does he idolize something but elevate himself above it?
I didn't say he elevated himself.
But that, no,
he was dictating.
Okay.
He was dictating to me.
You
said
he was using the word I.
Right. Because that's what he said.
My question is, if he's idolizing his wife,
right,
Your point was he's talking about what is me. Well, he can't idolize his wife. He's saying I'm first.
I didn't say he was idolizing. He was being a
I'm
dictator.
sorry, I thought you.
So
I said he idolized his wife. He wasn't idolizing himself. I heard you say he was doing for
No,
himself.
I thought you said he was idolizing his wife.
He was, because you gotta understand.
But he can't idolize her if he's putting himself
He just
first.
told you I'm gonna put her on the pedestal. I'm gonna work harder than her. I'm gonna do this.
But
I'm
that's
gonna lift her up to here.
That's not the key. There's a vast difference between
Okay.
idolizing like worship and accepting your minor responsibility.
Okay.
That's
So
two different
so
things.
split. So what is it? What's the two different things?
No, I'm
No, you tell me. You told me it's different. So tell me.
Okay, very, very, very simple, right? I have a family.
Okay.
My role is to take care of my family.
Okay.
So 100%, I'm going to do what it takes to take care of my family. I'm not idolizing them. I'm accepting responsibility as a role that I promised to be a good husband and a good father.
So question: is that idolizing or is that love?
What he described was love, but see, here's the deal: we're leaving out a lot of stuff that makes the cake rise. Because what I'm saying, what you described here, I'm not saying don't love your wife. I'm not saying don't go fully. But when I love my wife, it's a way to do it in a responsible way where you don't end up having a hero mentality.
So
You can have a hero mentality like, I'm Superman. I'm going to come in. I'm going to do everything. And you just said it was on the show, though. You asked that guy, what do you want? He didn't know what he wanted because he was so busy giving her what she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
you talking about this dude in the video
No.
or the other?
He was talking about
guest?
past guests.
And that's a prime example.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't get that from him, though.
I'm just saying what
But I'm gonna say this. So what Keith is saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, you hear the possibility of him not even having the wherewithal of what he wants and what he likes because he's so focused on doing for her.
right.
So where do you see that as a problem in current relationships, and why do you think it's a problem?
Because you're going to wake up one day and you're going to figure out you're going to run out of gas, bro. You only got so much gas in the tank. And and when you can't fulfill that, and you created this monster over here, because all the time, and I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you don't open the door, all that. That comes with, that comes with that.
Mm-hmm.
But when it gets to the point, you telling me, hey, I got to, and I know this happened. I'm going to give you a story on this. I'm going to go work all day so you don't have to work. Because you shouldn't have to work. I'm going to go do, I know a young cat, man, broke his back at Southwest Airlines. Did all that. Took care of his family, did all that. Turns around, I'm not saying the cookie cutter situation, the guy who was eating at his dinner table, that's his wife had an affair with. Thing that broke that boy down.
So
but he was never home. He was never home. What she needed, he wasn't providing.
Well,
but he thought he was providing as a man because I'm making all this money. I'm doing so you don't have to do.
Well, okay. So let me back up here for a second, right? You're taking a lot of inferences here, right? But that's cool.
I'm going off what you, I'm
okay,
springboarding
but
off.
hold on. You give your example, right? What about the flip side? The guy who doesn't work hard, the guy who doesn't the guy who doesn't go to work often, the guy who doesn't kill himself. He's also in the same boat because he doesn't do what his wife expects him to do or needs him to do. She has an affair with somebody who will. So I don't think the work or not work is the issue.
It's a big issue.
No, hold on. Let me finish. I don't. In his when he's giving his examples of what overall for him, I'm the authority, and in that authority, I need to make her feel safe. I need to make her feel desired. I need to make her feel appreciated. All right. That's all. And he said, and the way I do this is these X, Y, and Z. That's the way I read what he said.
It's performance
okay.
based.
Pause right there.
It's all performance. He was all
if she makes it.
But pause right there.
She didn't have to. He did.
Hold on. I want to pause right there because I want to come back to the performance based, right? So we had a comment. Autumn asked, "What was wrong with hero mentality? You are her hero."
No.
If she,
no, God is your hero. I can't do more than him. if I go off the scripture of the Bible, Jesus is my authority.
Mm-hmm.
Who's over Jesus? God. If I go through the word of the book and I do exactly what the book says do, and I raise my family, I should be a figure who, not the preacher just preach to my family. I should teach my family the word. So when I bring them in the word, they understand. Everybody understands their role, and not just bring them into it. We study that together. We learn that together. So you understand. You didn't the alarm clock didn't wake you up, bro. That's not what woke you up. No,
right now.
Who woke you up this morning?
I know, but
I'm just a question. Who woke you up? Who woke you up this morning?
I can answer that question, but the question is, we're dealing with hero mentality. I'm trying to understand.
Because I'm not your hero, bro. I can't. Okay. I'm not your hero. Too many women, the expectations that come with that.
I think Autumn, and she can explain it herself, right?
Okay.
I believe in Autumn. Please correct me if I'm wrong. What Autumn is basically saying is, in an appreciative manner, if the man is showing her that whatever quality she's
looking for, tell me what a hero is to you.
Keith, let me finish, dog.
Okay, I'm just saying.
She asked the question, so let me address it. The way, and like I said, Autumn, correct me if I'm wrong. She's basically showing an appreciation to my man. He's my hero. She's determining that, not dude. Wait a second. How are you going to tell? Because I would say right now, my pop was my hero. Okay. That was my dude.
Okay.
Are you now? Okay. I know when my father falls in line of God. All right. He's not comparative, but he was my hero.
Well, that's why I asked her to break that down. What does that mean?
No, ask her.
I'm asking, bro.
She said, Autumn said he thinks hero means her everything. So, but basically what she's saying is that doesn't mean that he's our everything, but because you know what? Wait.
Let's break down the word everything. What does that mean? Everything. What is everything? We're gonna play on words. Let's play on them.
So now, and we're talking about hero. So I have a card in my wallet right now. It's from my daughter, right? It says, "You are my hero." Right.
Okay.
So I carry this with me because this keeps me reminding me of how she sees me. Now, at her age and in her mindset, you know, she's gonna on earth, she's gonna turn to daddy for the things that she wants, right? She understands God, she understands his power and authority. But I don't think that there is a problem with being a quote unquote hero to somebody where they can look at you so favorably, they say, you know what? I believe he can pull this out.
And you know what? Appreciate y'all being that way, but my words on my ears, I'd rather hear it say, I'm glad God put you in my life, and I'm glad he's working on you. And I'm going to keep praying for you that you can pull through whatever we need to go through. Just to what I need.
But how does that
that's key.
Okay, nobody's saying you're wrong. What I'm asking you is, how is what you just said, right? Because you said that's what you would prefer to happen, right? How is that any different than what Autumn, like, taking your same, taking your same, if Autumn sits there and she's with a dude, and she's saying, that guy, this dude right here, provides me with all I expected to have, right, as a wife from a husband, he's my hero. Because like T said, I have 2 girls.
Okay.
For a birthday present a couple of years ago, they gave me a plaque. Very similar. They got like every superhero in Marvel. Said, Daddy, you Superman. You like Spider-Man. I'm their hero, right? Now, these are 2 Christian girls that I'm raising. Okay?
I got you.
They certainly understand that God supersedes me. But if she wants to use that adjective to describe, for lack of a better term, how she feels about me, what's wrong with that?
So wait. All right. So Keith been the father. Keith, are you a person who your children admire and idolize for courage, outstanding achievement, or noble qualities?
Well, first of all, my kids don't idolize me. They appreciate me. Let's get that out of the way.
Let's take idolize out.
Okay.
Are you a person that they admire for courage, outstanding, and achievements for noble qualities?
I would like to think so, but you have to ask them that question.
But that's the definition of a hero.
Okay. Like I said, you
because hero ain't even in the Bible.
But you're right. But
so
what I'm saying,
to put God as a hero, he never said I'm your hero.
And that okay, you remember Charles Barkley? Everybody say they were what's the statement Charles Barkley we used
You
to
talk
do.
about, you talk about role models?
Yeah, I'm not your role model.
Mhm.
You remember that? Charles used to say that when everybody else was taking on, I'm the role model. Because here's the deal. I'm going to disappoint you. I am going to disappoint you.
Heroes do that.
I don't remember Superman disappointing nobody.
Well,
I don't remember
okay.
Batman disappointing nobody.
Yeah,
They always,
those
because
are types of heroes, but you got soldiers are heroes.
right.
They don't win every battle.
But I'm just saying,
Football players are heroes. They don't win every game.
That's your thought process. But if you take a kid, say you and you take a kid a hero, because bro, I've been there. My kid said, "Dad, I just thought you was you was invincible." I said, "No, I'm human."
Right, and did you?
I'm human.
And
the biggest thing
the fact that you've had faults, did that stop Fast from saying you is a hero?
No,
right,
listen, but you didn't let me finish what I'm saying.
All right, go.
They built me up so high that, you know what? I found myself trying to perform on that level. And I'm human.
Okay. So now let's take it in this direction. So basically, Keith, what you're trying to prevent is the performative aspect of what men get caught up into.
Right.
And so what are some of those areas that you see men performing that you know they can't keep up with?
When your woman needs a bag every day. I mean, she wants every new bag comes out. I need a new car. I need a new house. I need this. We need to go on a vacation. Now you start performing on these things.
But that is not what dude is saying.
Okay, well, he asked me this question. He asked me what dude said.
Yeah.
Now, but that's what I want me to answer now.
But I want to focus more on performing, because I do feel that a lot of times things for men become performative based, right? I believe that a lot of times when I hear conversations about even sexual reciprocity in a relationship, I call it performance P, right? You perform, you get some.
Right.
Well, I can't do this because you haven't done this, and that. And so it's like you perform, and then I give you treat, right? Mm-hmm. And so I do see that sometime in conversations online.
And
so is that what you?
And when it go, and when you go back to Corinthians 7, it tells you your body is not your body, and her body is not her body.
But
and it talks about that in Corinthians.
Yes, but in Corinthians, in the situation you talk about bodies, it's not her body because it's his. It's not his body because it's hers.
Right.
That's the scripture. Well, then you just contradicted yourself.
How did I do that?
I just said the Corinthians chapter 7, it's talking about the model of marriage. And it's talking about when you withhold sex from each other.
Right. So that's what he was just talking. I'm going off what he just said. Okay, listen what I'm saying. I'm just going off what T just said.
Right. Now let me say what I said, right? In the scripture you're using, you said what she said, what it says, her body's not hers, his body isn't his. And in that same vernacular, right? Doesn't that go in the essence of authority too? Because it's saying you can't use your body to withhold affection, love, compassion from your spouse.
But it's not authority on one person.
I didn't say that. I said.
But he said you want to go back to context. He said, I'm in charge. I'm
right. He said in charge from the authority of the family, of course.
So now, because you said a word earlier, and you said it was like he was a dictator, right?
Right.
Okay. So do you not agree that the man is in charge? We can use the word in charge, head, leader.
Right.
I want to use those interchangeably.
Right.
Do you not agree that that's his natural position?
So I'm gonna use it like this. Be careful with the words you use because they mean a lot. I can say I'm responsible. My responsibility to this family is to do this, this, and this.
That's literally what he said.
Okay, bro.
So you use the word responsibility, right?
Right.
But I'm asking.
Okay.
Are you the head?
Yeah, I'm in Chain Command, I'm the head.
Okay. Are you the leader of your family?
I am the leader of my family.
So those are the words I just used.
Right.
Are you the leader? Are you the head? So are you the one that do you believe that that's your position and that's your role?
Right. But let me tell you something, and I know where you're driving this point, but understand, if you don't understand what that means, if I tell a person, I'm just going to use this, I'm not saying we kids up here, but I would say, when you leave out the house, the worst thing a woman can tell worst thing a man can tell his son, you in charge.
Okay.
Because you saying, well, what's wrong with that? You are in charge because I'm gone. No, you're not. Because you know what? When that kid grows up in charge, I'm on the PlayStation game waiting for dad to come back home. Because you got to understand, I left that word, you're in charge.
But I get if you're talking about giving your kids, but we're stuck at the marriage level right now.
Okay, if we
So
at the marriage level.
level.
Okay, so what are you going? You saying, I understand I'm in charge. I understand where my authority comes from. I understand my responsibility. My responsibility is not telling you I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. How about that? I'm going to leave my family with the word, and we're going to go through scripture, and we're going to line up with that word.
Now, at a wedding, correct me if I'm wrong. When we take our vows, it's filled with I, right?
Yes.
I mean, we literally stand there and say, "I promise,
right?
I do this,
right."
So, I want to know where's the issue at now? Because what I'm hearing you say is you're feeling like he's coming off as some type of dictator.
Yeah.
Bossy, you're feeling like he's saying, "I'm just saying what my roles and responsibilities are." All right.
So what does
Question:
it say?
Do you get? And let's transition this to this way. Do you think you get the final say so in your household? Because he said that. He said, "I don't share that."
Right.
Do you think you get that?
I get to come out with the final decision. Yes, I do.
Okay,
but it doesn't mean it was my decision.
But he said that.
But that's
okay,
not. But
I'm answering
that's
this
not.
question.
But
Bro.
that's not.
all I'm doing.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
I'm just answering these questions.
Here's the thing. I asked you, do you get the final decision?
I get to come out. You know what?
I didn't say that it was your decision.
Let me do this deal like y'all do. Then. Okay. This is how I come out with the final decision. When we huddle up, we come out. What do we come out? We just boom, 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 boom. Come back. Okay. I'm the one at the podium. You remember y'all said that? Mm-hmm. I'm the one at the podium. So that's where the final say-so comes in. She's not at the podium. I'm at the podium. It doesn't mean I didn't go through her. I didn't listen to her. What she said matters. So you know what? I'm going to take that. You know what? We'll use that. Let's go. And I go to the podium. Here we go. But you know what? You only heard me say it because I'm the coach who has to come up and say it. It's not the quarterback.
Excuse me. Keith, what you just said, he literally said that.
Okay.
And his roles,
I didn't hear that.
You can replay it. And I'm sure you would. His roles, he literally said, and I'm paraphrasing, right? The decision is mine. Hold on, let me finish. He literally said the decision is mine, but he did say that he incorporates her opinion. He said that.
Okay, let me ask you this, bro. What does it say that I'm supposed to go? She can't make more money. I don't know if he said that. He can't make more. He said I make more money than her. I make sure I make more money.
No, he said
I work harder or something.
He said I'm going to, when I make money, I'm going to spend more money on her.
So where does this say? And it talks about that in there. Where does this say I'm supposed to spend more money on her?
He's not saying that's a rule. He's saying that's him. That's his expression of how he takes care of his woman. That's what he said. Whatever the case may be, if I'm the authority, or I'm like, I've said this.
So before. Do you agree with that?
Do I agree with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. 100%.
You agree you're supposed to spend more money on your wife?
If that's
wait.
I'm not.
No.
See, I'm just asking a question.
Know, but the thing is, when Bossy said he agreed with it, the slick way of saying you agree you're supposed to.
Right, that's what I'm
saying. So not supposed to, because here's the thing.
I'm willing to.
He's willing to. That's a different than supposed to.
So you know what? That's just what I just talk about. You play on words.
No, it's not a play on
words. The play on his word. I'm not saying you. I'm saying him. His play on words. So what he's saying, what he's throwing out there, you're responsible enough to take that and dissect it. What is an irresponsible person here?
But Keith,
I'm just asking, what is it? Answer that question.
But he's not responsible.
Answer that, bro.
I'm answering you.
Okay.
He is not responsible for an irresponsible person. He is asked a question and he's answering the question on how he operates in his relationship. That's what he's doing.
And also, I think as we discuss this topic,
before you go forward, just think what he says in that sense. He mentions 3 entities.
What?
Him, his wife, and his kids. He's not saying about you should do this, The question is how he operates, and everything he refers to is them three people.
So let's do a reset.
So,
for our
okay,
audience. Let's do a
so-
reset
so-
for our audience.
so
Hold on.
him telling his kids-
Wait. Let's do a reset for our audience
Okay.
because I want to make sure we're actually going through when people are listening, they understand. So we're gonna replay the clip real quick, so we'll know. All right.
My wife is not in charge in my house. I am. And she is my helper, and I'm not her helper. She doesn't wear the pants, I do. Now, because I adore my wife, I want to model the sacrificial leadership of Jesus. Jesus, recognizing that all authority in heaven and earth had been given to me, stood up, took out his outer robe, tied it around his waist, knelt down and washed his disciples' feet. That's what the biblical account is. Recognizing he had all authority, he got down and washed feet. I am in authority over my wife. It's not a 50-50. The buck stops with me. I am the head. Because of that, I'm going to use my leadership to take wonderful care of my wife. Boys, my sons, this is our woman. We're going to take care of her. She doesn't open doors. We open it for her. Our job, my job as a man, is to make sure my life is harder than hers.
That's good.
I want my life harder than hers.
Yes.
I make money. I'm going to spend more on her than me. I'm going to lift her up. I'm going to serve her. I'm built stronger so that I can use my strength for my bride. I'm going to exalt her. I'm going to do something better than 50-50 or equal. I'm going to lift her up. I'm going to treat her not as an equal. I'm going to treat her as more important. And I'm going to steer our marriage as well. I'm going to set the culture for our home. And I need her to give me her valuable insight. And sometimes we're going to disagree and I'm going to go with what she thinks. And sometimes I'm going to go with what I think. But I'm going to use her as my helper, as my second self on mission for the Lord because I desperately, desperately need the counsel of my life.
All right. So I got a question for Bossy
Not
off of that.
50-50.
I got a question for Bossy off of that. He said he wanted to make his wife more important. Well, what are your thoughts on when he says, I want to make my wife, I want to lift her up and make her more important
Than me.
Yeah, and that's the way he sees it. The way he wants to treat her is based. That's what selflessness is, right? I'm going to make you more important than me. I am going to make my objective, meaning I am going to make my objective in life is to make sure you're okay. All right. If it comes to a sacrifice, I'll do it.
Okay.
All right. If it comes to the short, I'll take it. All right.
So with that being said, if we're saying that husbands should love their wife as Christ loved the church, did Christ make the church more important to him?
Did Christ make the verse more important to him? Christ made the desire and the way to treat the church based on his authority figure more important on him, the fact because he died for it. Am I right or am I wrong? Christ died. Christ died for the church, for the believer. That's what the church is gathering for.
Mm-hmm.
That was his purpose for for all they would do sinfully. From the time he laid down his life to the end of time was for the love. It says,
but did he lift them to make them more important? So what I'm getting to a order is in that case, is a husband out of order for making the wife more important than him and lifting her to that point?
Okay. Let me answer your question this way, right? Let me answer your question this way. Love by definition is when you care about something so much that you make it more important to you. Love is a giving word. It's not a take. Love is because, and I've said this before on the show, when people go into relationships, say they want to love, I want somebody to do this for me. I want a king or a queen to do this for me. When you're the subject of love, that's not love. Because going back to what you said, the word says this in John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he did what? He gave. He gave sacrificially. In that particular sentence, he gave a part of him to do what? To die as a sacrifice. That's an expression of love is giving, it's not taking. So when you put that example of like my wife is more important to me, is more important than me, it's the sacrifice I'm willing to make her for the position she's in. That's what love is. Just like your kid. If I sat in and told you, is your kid worth dying for? You would say yes wouldn't be no stoppage whatsoever, no hesitation, right? That's not even a question to you, right? Right? Why can't I love my wife the same way?
All right, Keith, is that out of order?
That's mind-boggling to me because I'm gonna ask you this. You said yeah, you would die for your kid because in your mindset, you know what? My daughter is worth dying for, right?
Mhm.
Because you see, you experience her. Now my question is, if you had a crackhead daughter hanging out homeless, you only had one kidney. She needed a kidney. Would you give it to her?
Well, I think that goes into another lane.
No.
What I'm saying is, though,
but I'm going somewhere with that. Just ask the question. I go and let me go somewhere with that now.
well, you know what? If
And
probably so.
And she's not going to change. There's no change. She just need a kidney because as soon as she get that kidney, she's back on the street.
Can I take this one?
But no, let me finish. Let me finish. Let me drive. I'm driving somewhere because you know what? Even just the hesitation in that, it's a different mindset. As long as you know what? My daughter got a chance. I'm going to give it to her. But if your daughter, heck, I'll say she'll crackhead. Get ready to go.
I know, but sometimes, hold on. Sometimes, so listen.
I got something to say too.
But here's the thing, though, KY. And I think sometimes we can try to go too deep, and it's just a simple question. Is that out of order from how you see the marriage supposed to be?
I see that. I see what he's saying, but I'm just saying, what's the difference? The little piece in there I'm missing. I want to say something before y'all go into that. One piece. He sacrificed for people who didn't even believe. He said, "Forgive them, God, for they do not know. They don't know." He sacrificed for people who didn't believe, bro. So that's a different mindset. What you just said, what he just asked you, would you die for your daughter? Absolutely you would, because you understand. Good, but if your daughter would just know, your daughter hated you, ain't talked to you in years. Every time she see you, there's no relationship there. I'm gonna just say it's no relationship there. It changes the mindset a little bit.
So you're not gonna answer the question.
I just answered.
No, is putting your wife, making her. The man said, "I'm going to make her more important than me."
I'm not.
Is that out of order?
Yes, it is.
All right, that's all we wanted to know.
So now let me say this, and I heard him say it's no 50-50. Now that means
did you also hear him say that the reason why there's no 50-50?
He contradicted himself a lot.
No, he didn't. Look, Keith.
Okay, he said it was no 50-50 though.
Because he's taking on all the responsibility. That's what he said. There is no 50-50.
So she don't get to say nothing.
That's not true. That's not true at all. He said, I wish you would listen to him.
I did listen to him. Okay. He said it wasn't no 50-50. Okay. I get to make the decision.
Okay, two things he said. He said there's no 50-50, right? Because I'm taking on all the responsibility. So when you say that means she got no say so, no, it don't, because he also said when it comes to a decision in the family, he takes her counsel. And he said his final decision.
That's the contradiction. I'm listening, but that's the contradiction.
It is not a contradiction.
If you tell me you have no say so,
there's no say that.
That's what he said.
He did not say that, Keith.
He didn't say that.
He never said that.
He said, I have the final say so. There's no 50-50 in this relationship.
That's my wife's counsel.
He literally said, I need her counsel.
Okay, but
I need it. He said, I need her counsel. He never said she didn't get a chance to talk.
Is 50-50 equal?
Is 50-50 equal?
Yes.
Mathematically, yes.
So he said there's no 50-50, right?
When it comes to his responsibility.
Just answer that question. I ain't saying nothing about no responsibility. I'm not talking about no responsibility. I asked, is 50-50 equal?
You said what he said.
Is 50-50 equal?
You asked what he said.
Is 50-50 equal? That's all I'm asking.
50-50 is equal.
If I take away 50-50 from you, is it still equal between me and you?
It's not equal when it comes down to the final say.
That's all I need to hear.
Because wait, that's all I need to hear. You just said.
That's all I need to hear. You just said it wasn't equal. That's all I need to hear.
That's all you need to hear. Now, you're quoting what he said, right?
I'm quoting what the man said.
Let's take a quote from the Bible. Jesus said to Jews, "You are sons of the devil." That's what he said. The context he said it in was not to all Jews. The context he said it in were the Jews at that place that he was talking to who were non-believers. Why am I saying that? Right? Because there's a lot of people, anti-Semites, who use a part of what Christ said. Let me finish. But not in the context that he said it. That's what you just did to that man. You are saying because he said 50-50, she don't have a say so. When that's not what he said. That didn't even come close to what he said. He said it's not 50-50 because I'm taking on all the sacrifice, which she doesn't have to. That's what he said.
He said he's taking on all the sacrifice.
Yes, that's what he said.
Okay, so but I'm taking on all the sacrifice.
Okay.
So
because of how he admires her.
There's no 50-50 in the sacrifice.
Wait, no, wait. No, wait. But I got to go back. If we go back to what you said earlier, when I asked you, did you have a final say so? And you said yes. There's no 50-50. You just said I got the final say so. But now you're crying for 50-50, but you said I got the final say so. This man said,
right,
I get my wife. He said I desperately need her input.
Exactly.
But I make the final decision
because the responsibility relies on him.
So you have already said the responsibility relies on you, Keith. And so what you're telling me is after you come into a huddle and you and your lady have a conversation and the final decision.
And I left a piece out the hole too.
So the 50-50 is you say, hey, bring me what you think, right? And then you say, I'm gonna bring you what I think. And after you get her 50, then it goes to 100.
So the contradiction with him, he just said it wasn't no 50-50, but he turned around and said, we're gonna go together and we're gonna talk about
it.
That's not a contradiction.
I gotta listen.
Okay, put it out there.
I'm gonna run out of battery, but I got to
not in charge in my house. I am. And
okay.
She is my helper.
Listen to her.
Okay.
She doesn't wear the pants, I do. Now, because I adore my wife, I want to model the sacrificial leadership of Jesus. Jesus, recognizing that all authority in heaven and earth had been given to me, stood up, took out his outer robe, tied it around his waist, knelt down and washed his disciples' feet. That's what the biblical account is. Recognizing he had all authority, he got down and washed feet. I am in authority over my wife. It's not a 50-50. The buck stops with me. I am the head.
Stop. I am in authority over my wife. It's not a 50-50. The buck stop with me. Why do you have a problem with that? Because if you are in authority over your wife, the buck stops with you. Because guess
like
what?
Being authority over a team, like being the coach of a team, the CEO
Who's
of
authority
a company.
over me?
Huh?
Who's authority over me?
Oh.
What does that have to do with it?
There's a question.
Like you keep throwing these left, right, like where's that coming from?
I got. We got.
This is a
Okay, but who's over me?
Okay, we know God is over you. But the buck still stops with you.
Okay, all right.
But you know why? Because watch this.
I hear what he.
I say this.
But let me say this. Y'all stopped it right there. Let's go to 50-50 when he said.
He just said 50.
Okay, there's no 50-50.
The buck stops with me.
In decision making over the home. That's what he's talking about.
So you want the buck to be shared with the woman. So you want to be like, hey, that was her. She did this.
No.
You want an Adam and Eve situation.
No. Because let me hit my household. How it would be run? Okay, first of all, if it's a problem, right? We got to agree on the problem, right? I'm gonna go to her. Then we're gonna go to prayer. We're gonna pray about this situation. We're gonna line it up with the Bible and see where it says. It's not about me.
He's not saying it's about
I didn't say that, boss. I'm saying what I would do. I'm not saying what this dude would do.
But
this is what Keith gonna do.
I got you. But listen to what you just said.
I said we're gonna get together. We're gonna pray about it.
Okay.
We're gonna line it with scripture.
Okay.
And then we're gonna go make a decision.
No.
No.
You're gonna get together. I understand.
Okay,
so because you said this. You said this. You said this before.
Right.
So y'all got together.
Right.
And y'all got with the Bible.
Right.
And y'all prayed over it.
Right.
And y'all still at an impasse.
It can't be impasse.
Yes, it can. Yes, it
can. If we both are Christians and we go to this book and we line it up with the book, what's the disagreement?
The disagreement is
what's the disagreement?
Okay. I'll give you a disagree. I'll give you the disagreement.
Okay, right? How can you disagree with the book?
If you let me,
if
let me respond.
Okay, come with me.
If you let me respond.
Finish this up.
You were talking about Christ, right?
Right.
Christ had 12 people with him, right?
Okay.
Did he or did he not?
Yes,
12 disciples that he was teaching the book to, right?
Yes.
Right? That he was giving the word of God, the voice of God was to them, right? Did all 12 of them agree? Did they all agree?
No, but I don't know where you're going with this.
Wait.
I don't know where you're going with this.
I'm about to tell you. So when they didn't agree on if they should feed the fish or not, if they didn't agree on when they should go over the boat in the water, who made the decision that all of them fall in line to? even when they didn't agree. They all had the same word. They all had the same word. They all was in the same Bible class, right? But we'll just say the 5,000. All of them didn't agree to feed those people. But the people got fed. Who made that decision?
Who disagreed to feed the people?
Keith?
I'm asking.
When Jesus said, I'm about to tell you.
Who was it?
I'm about to tell you.
Wrap it up.
In that scripture, right? Jesus told the disciples, feed the people. They's like, what? We ain't got no food. You see all these people out here? We can't feed them. Jesus said, what do they have? They got 2 fish, Lord. 2 fish and some bread. Do you see the money? He said, bring them here. He was like, do you see the multitude of people out there? Do you see them?
Don't feed them. Who disagreed? Don't feed them.
All the people who looked at what they had and said they didn't have enough. If God never stepped in, those people wouldn't have got fed. You know why?
Because if they agreed with them, they would have never said, we only got this amount.
Exactly.
That's all we got.
Hey, listen.
Who was the person who disagreed? Nobody gave me a name yet.
Man.
Keith.
Hey, listen.
Simple.
Listen.
Just give me a name and I'll shut up.
The word doesn't say a name. It said the disciples, Keith. It said the disciples.
Hey, guys,
disagree.
Listen. Hey, toxic is the new masculinity. I tell you, we can talk about everything. We can have.
That's all I asked was the name.
Peter, John, James.
This is my guy, Bossy.
I want to go look it up tonight when he said, I'm looking up the name.
It says the disciples. He was with the disciples.
Hey, they disagreed.
Listen, if you guys want to make sure, go subscribe to our YouTube page, Toxic is the New Masculinity. I got my man Bossy to the right. We got my man KY to the left. Hey,
we know Judas didn't agree with him for a fact. We know that.
Hey, catch us on the next edition of Toxic is the New Masculinity.